Hey. Mic check, mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. What's popping?
Yeah, nah, I can hear you. Can you see me?
I can't see you.
Hold on 1 second.
See what's going, Jean. What's good with the people, man? Time tuning in. Let me open up this chat. There we go. I see you.
Oh shit. Okay, there we go. My bad. You can hear me?
Yep. Yeah, you straight.
Oh, okay. That's why I hate doing this shit off my phone. I hella have to
Right.
fucking jump back to Facebook, drop the link into the thing, and all the shit.
Oh, yeah. I feel you. Let me see. Okay, yeah. I got to get yours.
Boom, there we go. Yeah, now I hella had to put in my fucking my earbuds and shit too.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. I think that damn near made your sound worse than when it was just regular. Like you sounded clearer.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Yeah.
let me take these motherfuckers out there and say less.
uh, all right, let me see who in the building.
What's that sounding like? That's better?
Yeah, that's a whole lot better. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Um,
Um,
oh, whenever you're ready.
one sec. One sec. Let me
No,
just
you
open
good.
this. Sec.
Shit.
All right, man. All right. We good. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Free Your Mind podcast. Where you come to free your mind and help others free theirs. I'm your co-host, and I go by the name of Woon, and I'm all about balance like a mop and a broom. What's popping?
What's poppin'? I go by the name of Selfmade, man. You gotta tap into self to know thyself always. Welcome to another episode, man. Free your mind. We back. We got somebody in here early. Mike, man, what's going on?
Man, just chilling.
God.
Just chilling, relaxing up in the car, you know.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, so we got an interesting topic. What does it mean to let go and let God? We waiting on Dante. We got a couple other people pulling up, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm just waiting to see when they're gonna pull up. Um,
Right.
especially for like the newcomers trying to get into the fucking link itself. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, wait, there we go. All right. Anybody on? I got one on there. Yeah, they slowly creeping in, man. They slowly creeping in. Feel free to hit the chat, man. Say something to us, talk to us. We talk back.
Hold on. That's the internet.
I got the regular. Oh,
Oh
that's
no, I
right.
see it. I see it. Navigating this motherfucker with your phone,
It's
especially with the
different.
new setup, this shit is different.
Yeah. Let me do that. There we go. Man, because they used to have like the way that they got the is there a way I could okay. Yeah, see, I'm still learning some shit because I'm like the way they had it set up last time, it was easier for me to just go through and mute out the people that have extra noise or whatever. And then now it's like I gotta go into this whole separate thing, but I figured it out though. We good.
God,
We Gucci.
let me see if I can. No, hold on 1 second.
We Gucci.
Phone real quick. 1 second.
And I don't know if you remember, you got to change your status to public on Facebook.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
I
I'm
did
hella
that
glad
last
you
time. My
said
shit
that.
was blocked. It was like only me. I'm like, damn, hold on. If you're new to the channel, please give us a thumbs up. YouTube, subscribe. It definitely helps us, in the algorithm and all of the, behind the scenes YouTube stuff. Oh, shit, why did I do that? We working our way to 200 subscribers, man. It was a stretch trying to get 100, but we did it. So now we pushing towards the next milestone, man. That's all we can do. We definitely appreciate everybody that has been, following and supporting and the whole nine.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm back. Gucci. I'm just working off 2 phones right now and shit.
Right.
Just,
Got
I can't.
2 phones.
Well, now that I'm link that shit up, now I can see like my Facebook shit on here and shit too.
Oh, okay.
But
All
what's
right,
up to
cool.
though? How you doing? Hey, before before I knew like who you was, like, because I don't know if you was like a little bit Spanish, so I was calling you Alicia and shit last time. Shit. Alicia. Well, what's poppin' though? We see you up in here early. We appreciate it.
Yes. But shoot, man, what you think, man? What you think about the let go and let God, man? Like,
I'm finna get to that right now. And this is the reason that it's titled like this is because from one of our last shows, this nigga Dante was asking a question. I'm gonna try to get to that real quick.
right.
So give me just 1 second. The fuck is that?
You said it right. Hopefully everybody enjoying their Friday off the plantations.
Man. Okay. Wait, no, wrong post. My bad, y'all. My bad. Where the fuck is that damn post at?
Wasn't it under a reel?
Yeah, no, I got it right here.
Okay.
So from the reel that I posted from the last show that we had, I titled it as Protect Your Energy. And so hold on 1 second. What the fuck is that? Okay, I'm gonna just read it out.
Yeah.
He said, okay, this is a good one referring to protecting your energy, right? And he said, so let me ask you this, because sometimes in life when it rains, it pours. So when you got a few things simultaneously happening at once, how do you transfer positive energy through a storm of bad energy? It's like trying to think of something good, although it's bad, kind of like being able to be positive through a close person's death, because there is no happiness in that. So how do you transfer that? Right? So my answer to him, because I didn't, of course, because we wanted to speak about it in this type of way, but it was kind of like, because I know where he's at and his level of belief and shit, right?
Right.
So my thing is just like, okay, well, you're dealing with what you're dealing with, on this level of humanity, right?
Trying to
Meaning
figure
that
it
we,
out.
a lot of the times, we process things through our emotions and shit, through the senses and shit, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, well, if you are being bombarded with something and you cannot compartmentalize the different situations that's going on, this is when that, excuse me, when that thing comes into play, let go and let God and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, unfortunately, he's not here right now. But I was going to ask him, you know, because of his religious faith, does he practice in the letting go and letting God? And if he does, what does that mean to him?
That, yeah, and what does that even look like? You know?
Right.
Because to me, it seems like if there is a problem, um, and you may be struggling to figure out a way to, you know, figure out the problem to just stop doing everything. It could be,
Right.
you know, it could kind of come across on that type of time where it's like, so wait, do I not deal with what's in front of me right now and just, you know, um, act oblivious to it and not try to, you know, deal with it and
Mm-hmm.
let God, you know what I mean? Or do I still try to work through this on my own? How did the two coincide, you know?
Mm. Well,
Because if you say like, I'm gonna be the one to work on this and try to figure this out in my mind, and then you letting go and letting God, if you are God, then it's still you doing it on the other end of it. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And see, to add to that, it's just like, and that's why I was, you know, making a separation between the senses and, you know, our emotions versus going into what we would call our higher self, right?
right.
Because we're dealing with it on the emotional level. It's just like, damn, I gotta get out of my feelings, right?
Exactly.
And it's just like, if you get out of your feelings, it's just like, okay, so what's the other option when you get out of your feelings? It's to think logically and shit, right?
Exactly.
So for me, it's just like, okay, let me stop doing the shit that I want to do from this egotistical human standpoint, because this is not what I want, right? But I'm
Exactly.
dealing with shit that I don't want to deal with. So guess what? From me, it's just like when I let go and let God, it's just like, all right, let me quit bullshitting from a human level and let me tap into my higher self so I can make sense of what's actually taking place, and not only make sense of it, but be able to get through it without the emotional ties about how I feel about it, right?
Yeah, because that puts you in like a victim mentality. You know what I mean? Like
For
that's
sure.
why it's like, because when you get to that point of you know, everything's here to serve you, in the sense of like when you're going through something, it's to show you something, it's for you to learn, it's for you to grow, you know, past that situation.
Right.
So like what you were saying, you know, if you're emotional about it and you kind of take like this victim role, like why me, you're not, you know what I mean, like you're not getting anywhere with that type of, you know, energy. But when you do sit with yourself and really try to figure out what's the lesson behind why you're going through, because you're not going to stop going through shit. You're going to continue to go through stuff. You
For
know, it's
sure.
about figuring out what the lesson that you need to learn, you know, from going through whatever it is that you're going through.
Mhm.
Seems like is the big takeaway. What you think, Mike?
Sound like, letting go and letting God. You know what I'm saying? Letting go of them feelings and, letting that enter you. You know what I'm saying? That God in you. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we call ourselves God. You know what I'm saying? We say peace to the guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all guys, I'm a guy. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's like, letting go of the feelings and let go and letting the God within you. You know what I'm saying? In your behavior and in your words and deeds. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure.
Tricky in the building. What's up, Treek? Oh, hold on 1 sec. 1 sec.
Yeah, she said, letting God is not. I'm sorry, letting God is letting it not make sense. Ooh. Letting it not make sense. Shit. that get a little tricky if that makes sense. But I understand what you're saying, but I would love for you to elaborate on that just to see, so people can understand what that means. Because again, us being on some human type of time, it's almost something that we want to have happen is for things to make sense so that we're able to get through it. Because if we understand it, then that means we can get through it. But again, I understand what you're saying, because it's just like, if you're so fixated on it making sense, then maybe that's when you need to back away from it, right? And not forcing it to make sense. So then it may hit you when you're not trying to make it make sense, if that makes sense.
All right, I'm back, man. I got a special guest, man. First time on the show, man, making an appearance.
First timer. What's good with it, Woon?
I got the brother Hills in the building.
What's y'all?
What's up with Hills?
Man, shit, same old, bro. What's good with the guy?
Oh man, chilling, man.
You up in the truck, I see.
Oh man, like a motherfucker.
Let me see if I can get this off.
Gotta make this shit happen. Rain,
Got
sleet,
to,
snow,
bruh.
whatever. We live.
Got to. For sure.
Oh, so she said exactly. So yeah. So was I kind of on point with what you were saying, Tree? Because I don't want to, I was just paraphrasing to what I thought you were saying type shit. But if you're saying exactly to that, then okay, I got you. Hey, but Hills, you already know what the topic is?
I just told him right now.
Let go, let God.
Yeah.
What does it mean to let go and let God?
Man, to me, that seems like it just seems like a religious thing to say. Because I've been hearing it ever since, I was a kid, growing up in the church. You gotta let go and let God. But I never understood it though. Like, how can we, let go of something that we can't necessarily see, the work happening. So who are you giving the work to? You know what I'm saying? I feel like we are the middleman to do the work. I feel like you have to set your intention first to do something and get it done right there. You got to set your intention and then move towards that intention. So letting go is just like, okay, I'm just gonna pray for it. I'm just gonna sit back. Like,
that's what I was kind of saying. Like, it seems like you're just not doing. Yeah. You're just not doing what you're supposed to do. Like, letting go. I'm just not gonna do it. God gonna take care of it, and I'm gonna just continue on with my life. Because I didn't heard people like, yeah, my light bill got paid. I didn't know how my light bill was gonna get paid, and I just let go and let God. And in a situation, it's just like, well, you told a couple of different people that you needed some money, and they ended up giving you that money to pay for your light bill.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just like you said, we the ones here to do the work. So even if that's just like somebody doing something for the first time, like taking on a new, occupation or trying to get a degree, and they're like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna get this shit done, but I'm still gonna just go for it and try to see how far I can get to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, that would be, in a sense, letting go and let God, because at the end of the day, you don't necessarily know the outcome, even though you have a vision of what it is that you want and what it is that you headed towards.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you taking a step towards that, what's in your mind each day, that's letting go and letting God, because you're doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the hurdles, you may get some hurdles that you are unexpected that you're gonna have to deal with. You know what I mean? It may feel like, oh shit, this shit happened. Why me? Why me? But at the end of the day, it's another lesson to learn from, to grow from. And that's either gonna push you closer to what it was that you was thinking about in your mind, or it's gonna push you closer to something else that really wasn't, like, to show you that first thing that you was pushing towards wasn't even for you. Like, that shit was a stepping stone to get you to this lane up over here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. To add to that, right? Because if we shift the phrase, right, from letting go and letting God to Jesus take the wheel, right? And it's similar in energy and shit, right?
It is.
But you know, so when we talk about taking a wheel, right? Because if we're talking about, there's so many different ways that we can break this shit down. But if we're talking about being on some, if you guys caught last show, then I was talking about, you know, the body being the vessel, and you know, so this is a car, you know what I mean? So we have the car, we're the driver behind the car, so you know, we're behind the wheel, right? In the car, in the body. And so it's saying, like, you know, we're gonna let this spiritual being handle this, right? Which is absolutely fine. But then if we change the words will, WHEEL, to WILL, and we say that we're doing God's will, right? So now it changes the position from saying, okay, now I'm not going to do what I thought that was what the plan was, what the play was. I'm going to let God's will be done, right? So on that higher self, and that's kind of intertangling what Selfmade just now said, is just like, okay, well, all this bad shit is happening to me, and you're thinking that it's bad from a human perspective, but it's God's will to how whatever is happening to you happen to you, right? So on that type of time, it's just like when you allow Jesus to take the wheel, in my mind, you're ultimately saying, it's just like, okay, let me see what the fuck is around this corner. God got something for me around this corner, so I'm not even finna drive, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and drive off of intuition. You feel me? I'm gonna just put myself in the back seat and let whatever happens happen, type shit. You feel me?
Right, and it kind of having that perspective is just like kind of handicaps you too, in a sense, because you know you just a sitting duck. You know what I'm saying? If you have that type of thinking, a way of thinking, you know. And that was another thing I was about to say. I was about to piggyback what you said, but it'll come back though.
No, you're good. And see, so when you say the handicap, right? Because I agree with that, and that's kind of like what I was asking Trika, because she was just like, you know, not wanting it to make sense, or not almost needing it to make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at some point in time, it's just like, nigga, you don't want that shit to make sense.
Right.
That could be a handicap, right?
Right. Facts.
But also it's just like, it's not time for it to make sense right now, right?
Right.
So I don't necessarily even need it to make sense right now, because it's like planting a seed, right?
Right.
I'm not going to see the tree right now. I just need to understand that seed was planted. So we try to think, like, okay, well, how many leaves is it going to have? How many cherries is it going to have? How many branches is it going to have? Like, nigga, why are you get out of there? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just let the be done. Like, you know what I mean? Just let be what it's going to be, type shit.
Right.
So the handicap is to say, like, you know, if you overstep that and just be like, well, the seed is planted, but fuck the tree. Like, you know what I mean? And it get a little tricky, because it's just like, yep, I'm gonna just let the will be done and fuck that tree. As opposed to, I'm just not gonna hyper focus on, you know, again, the different things of what the tree is gonna produce, right?
Right.
So it's kind of like a balance. It's kind of like a, you know, give take. Let me see how it's gonna play out. But at the same time, that's when the faith comes in. Because if the faith comes in, then it's just like, well, nigga, I know that the tree is gonna produce fruit.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So I don't even need to worry about it. But at the same time, because I know that it's going to produce fruit, does not mean that I don't need to water it, right?
Right.
Does not mean that I don't need to make sure that it gets a certain amount of sun, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Like, so it just depends on, you know, how you play it, but you have to kind of double dutch in that shit almost. You feel me?
Everything comes with intention and then action.
Right.
It's
For
like the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind feeds the subconscious mind, and then you let it go. Just like you planting a seed. It's the same thing with your conscious mind feeding your subconscious mind. You plant a seed, and then after there, you have to be the middleman and be doing the work, align yourself and what you want and all that. You have to be doing the work. Just like you have to keep on watering that plant. Once you put the seeds in there, it's the same thing.
Right.
If you want something, you got to keep on spinning that wheel. You know what I'm saying? You got to every day build on something that you want for yourself. Like when Fred remember that day Fred was like man, he said something about like whatever you want in life, like you have to keep on lighting that fire. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you do for what you want in your life, you keep on lighting that fire by doing the work, doing something what you want to do in that field.
For sure.
So it's kind of like the same thing. It's all about the conscious mind, subconscious mind.
Yeah.
I fuck with that. Trigger said losing the doubt. Okay, so yeah, and I fuck with that. Because I guess it's almost safe to say that, from my perspective anyway, like the human side of us is the one that creates doubt, that creates the chaos, that creates all these different things.
Right.
But then when you get into the spiritual side of yourself, that's when everything is made clear. Going back to what you said, he was about the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like the conscious mind is focused on everything that's ultimately in our immediate presence, right?
Right. Awareness. Yeah.
Exactly. As opposed to, the subconscious mind, it's more on some kickback shit, on some more like, okay, let me really see the whole broad picture, and therefore, so let me get out of this humanized mind and then go into the spiritual sense.
Facts. That's how you pull shit. That's how you get stuff to be in the physical. They just making it up to boom. Now you got it because you've been doing the work. Now it's here in the physical.
Facts. Hey, shout out to Jesus. We see you in the building. It's been a long time, though. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out Jesus.
Peace to the goddess, man.
Peace
Sis.
to the goddess.
What's up? We got Neff in the building. We got Yayo in the building. What's popping?
What's up with Neff, man?
It looked like we got moms in the building.
He got big bottles, man. He got guitar bottles, man.
Is that Ant?
Huh?
Who is that?
No, that's his
Oh,
nephew.
that look like Ant. I was like, what?
We got moms in the building and shit too. This is the first. We got heels
That's
and
moms.
at the same time. That's her down there.
Peace to moms. Okay, in the building. I see you. Hope all is well.
It's the high frequency community.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look. He said he got
Peace to the gods, man. Peace to the gods.
peace,
to the
man.
God,
Peace
man.
to the gods.
The white heme.
He got the white hand.
Oh, that's bro over there. Oh yeah. Hey, y'all muted. Y'all gotta unmute.
He had that guitar bottle shotgun.
Damn.
How you guys doing?
Oh, there you go. They gonna play a fine
You doing
tune
good?
at
How you doing?
that guitar.
I just got a really bad headache. I just drove in from LA. I'm tired.
Oh, okay. What's up with mine? Where you said you coming in from LA?
I made it to your sister stuff already. I'm leaving out first thing in the morning to go home so I can go to work.
Oh, okay, for sure. I know that you had to see the title. You was like, hold on, I'm gonna drop my 2 cents up in the
You know what? I'm not gonna say a word. I ain't gonna say a word. All I'm saying is what any issues that you got. You just got to throw your burdens on Jehovah and just let it stay there. Give it to him. Give it to him. That's all you can do. Everything you can't solve by yourself. You got to solve it with. You got to give it to the Creator who brought you here. That's all I got to say.
All right. So you know I'm gonna ask you a question to that, right?
I was,
And,
I was
and
gonna let her. I was gonna be like, let Woon do that.
you know what?
Hey,
Me and my son go
Bill,
through this
hey,
all the
Bill,
time.
I
We
already,
go
yeah.
through this all the time.
come on
So
to the
it
show.
ain't the first time, but I'm getting to be like Charlie Brown teaching. Go want
Nah, nah, good.
want
I ain't gonna go too deep,
want.
but I will ask you this though, right? So,
Boy,
eh,
don't make me come and twist your lips and pull your ear down the street.
you know we got the option to mute you out, right? You understand that, right?
Well, and I got the option to leave, bruh.
I know, I get that, but look, real quick. So when you say burdens, right? So would you like where do you think the burdens are coming from?
Life itself, son. Life itself.
I hear you, but let me ask you this real quick. So do you think that the burdens that's placed on you are meant for you to be stronger, or they're just misplaced energy?
No, I think it's meant. I feel like it's meant for you to be stronger. It's just like the young brother was saying here earlier. You know, you have to keep planting. You have to keep planting to grow and planting to grow and planting to grow.
Mm-hmm.
But as you planting to grow and you watering everything to make sure it grow, you still got that weed that want to seep in there, and that weed gonna always try to get in your way.
Got
And
you.
that
I got
weed is that burden, and you're gonna have to try to figure out how to get that burden up out your growth.
you. Okay, so and so at that point in time,
You
from what
don't do anything.
that's the burden that you would give back to
Well,
God.
see the thing, you're gonna give it back to God, but see this, you have to go back and think to yourself that look, that weed wasn't there at first. Am I using the right fertilizer? Did I switch up the fertilizer?
Mm,
Let me go back and see where this thing first started at, because it wasn't here before. Let me go backwards, because sometimes you got to go backwards to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
Let
I
me
got you. I
let,
got
let,
you.
let me see. Let me see what I did wrong. Let me switch it up. Because sometimes in life, people think you can just keep doing the same thing, but the game changed. The game changed, and you can't always play the game. Everybody want to play the game fairly, but you can't play the game fairly. Because guess what? If it's somebody else's game, you ain't gonna ever win. There's that weed. There's the weed. Got to figure out how to keep it up out your growth. And sometimes that weed could be a person, because people don't know other people problems sometimes end up being your problem when you was trying to do was help. So
Mm,
that's what people say to me, you sure don't look like you 62 years old. And I say, you know why? Because when I go to people and I go, hey, how you doing? Man, let me tell you, like, oh, no. Because that transfers of energy is real.
mm-hmm.
They already know what the answer is to their problem, but they bring it to you, and you thinking you're helping them, but they didn't ask 3 and 4 and 5 other people. So what they asking you for if they want? I mean, when they already know the answer to the problem.
They
Sometimes,
putting it on God.
sometimes, exactly. Sometimes you have to let it go and give it to God.
But I like what you said though, because like the weed, like having the weed grow in the garden example. So at like my question would be, I guess, at what point when the weed is in the garden, at what point do you stop, like what you were saying, like going working backwards, trying to figure out how to, like you said, did I change the fertilizer? Did I do this? Did I do that? At what point do you stop doing that and let God figure out how to handle the weed? Or is that
You went when you then went backwards, and you went to digging and digging and digging. and you can't figure out how to get that weed up out the garden. You don't know where the weed came from. You know, you're steady digging and digging, like I can't get it. I can't get it. I can't get it to leave. That's when you throw it to God.
Yeah, see that kind of, because I was gonna ask you, because I don't know if it's like an actual Bible scripture that says that God won't give you more that you can handle, right? Um, but it reminds me of what Trika said earlier when she was saying, like, not wanting it to make sense or not needing it to make sense, right? Because it's just like, if you're still trying to like hyper focus on that one weed, it's just like, all right, like either I'm gonna deal with it or it's not. Like, you know what I mean? Going back to what Selfmade was saying earlier, like, well, I don't want to deal with it, so I'm gonna just throw it on God's hands. But it can also be like, okay, well, let me stop trying to make this shit make sense and just let it be. Right. Mm-hmm. So we have a multitude of different answers, and I love them all because, we're just trying to figure out, what this thing is, right? Especially when it comes down to a problem. But for me, it's just like, I don't think that we personally have something that will be going back to, I guess it's a scripture that says that God is not going to put nothing more than we can handle on us, right? So now it's just, we have to shift our frequency, our energy to say, well, maybe I was looking at this from this way, just like what you just now said. Now let me try to figure out another way how to deal with it, and not how I want to deal with it, but seeing how God would want me to deal with it, aka letting Jesus take the wheel, because now I'm letting God's will happen, right? So it's just like, let me step outside of what I think is right and then go to the actual, see the big picture type shit. But but I don't know. I guess it's a thing to where if you have a belief in God, and again, I don't know if God won't put that much more than you can handle on you, if that is a true scripture as opposed to just a saying. But then it's also, come to God when you have your problems. So it's just kind of like, I guess, which one suits you at that time.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what I was saying earlier, as far as using that example. Like, if you got a weed and you done did everything that you can do to try to get this weed about your garden, and you at the point where you like, man, fuck it. That to me is what you talking about, as far as like, ultimately you not ready for the garden. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have enough information. You're not privy to what you need to know to be able to successfully make this garden happen. So your garden is finna get taken over with all these weeds, and that's either gonna send you down another rabbit hole to get a better understanding of how to, garden and what goes into gardening, or it's gonna send you down a whole nother path, and you're just gonna say, fuck gardening, I'm gonna get on to doing this. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I don't, but at that point, I mean, like, we can say God and shit, but at the end of the day, every decision that you end up making is from you. Exactly. You know, there's no, you may have some environmental outside, quote unquote, even outside is inside. So, because it's your reality. So that's still tying everything to you. You know what I mean? So even if your outside reality is shifting and doing certain things that's making you adjust, it's still all you doing it for yourself, for your purpose of your soul journey here. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what, it's all you that's doing it. You know, you probably wasn't meant to go down there because that's not part of your journey. Like, you know what I'm saying? As simple as that. It ain't got nothing to do with some external power changing shit and making shit move and making you move to the shit that it wants. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all an internal thing. It's all happening internally. It's all from you.
You're the middleman.
Yeah, and that's why, And my example is just like, just going to your higher self. And again, like, just in a practical sense, just like what you were saying. So we're just like, okay, well, if I'm trying A, B, and C, and I'm like, man, ain't none of them shits working, I still got the whole rest of the alphabet to come.
Exactly.
You feel me? But because we're so used to only doing A, B, and C, we haven't tapped into those other different letters and shit, right?
Right.
So it's just like, okay,
It's the willpower.
now this is my A, B, and C is me, what I'm used to doing. Let me go into some higher shit. What does that D look like? What does
Exactly.
different things look like? And we may have to go into what people call prayer in order to see that we are D as well, that we can operate in D as well.
Exactly.
Right? We may have to go into a prayer. We may have to go into meditation. We may have to talk to other people. We may have to listen to a song.
Yeah.
Smoke some weed.
The options is infinite.
Yeah. So it's just like all of these options are there. But it's just like, don't limit yourself to
Right.
C.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you limit yourself, now you're just like, oh shit, I can't do it. I can't deal with it. Yada, yada, yada. And then you're going to call your close circle, your best friends, or whoever it may be. You may call your wife, your husband, whoever. Just like I said, you may pray. But at the same time, you're still, just like what you said, so you're still actively pushing yourself to go through these different options other than the A, B, and C. Now you're like, hold on, let me check resources. Let me do this. Let me do that. And then so it comes from there. But and I understand the language. So when we go into prayer, that's when God comes into play, and I understand that. But it's just like you're still putting yourself into prayer, and you're still allowing yourself to receive whatever it is that you get from the prayer to resolve your problem.
Mm-hmm.
You could give yourself that credit, or you could say whatever it is. But for me, again, it's just like going into your higher self and realizing something from a different perspective.
Right. Yeah, to get to them different levels of understanding is the will to have another understanding, and to be able to do that, you have to sit with yourself.
Right.
And having people around you and to talk to you, that's a good thing for sure. But you're the main character in your story.
For sure.
Tap into the main character. Tap into the main source of you feeling these emotions. Tap into that. That's where the real answers lie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's different ways to figure it out. And I feel like, just like I said, letting go and letting God, I feel like that's like, I give up.
But what a lot of people do too is when they go to God in prayer and it ain't the answer that they seeking, they think that the answer is wrong. And that's why people say, be mindful of what you pray for. Because if you asking him for something better and he removes something from you that you think is better, you think that answer was wrong when it could possibly be right. But you're not trusting the process.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, you go back to that weed, as you grow and as you water and you grow, you're not only growing one thing, you're blossoming a lot of things. So don't think you're only going to get that one weed, because as you blossom, that weed is gonna branch out too and make more weeds.
That's a fact.
That's
yeah.
Yeah, there's always something on the opposition of you to build
Right.
you up. Like,
so you either gonna let that weed be your obstacle, or you're gonna figure out how to permanently get rid of it.
Right.
And like I said, that weed might be somebody in your life that you think you need to have there when they don't really need to be there. Everybody in your circle don't mean they fit. Everybody in the circle don't fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you got to weed them niggas out. We talking about weeds, right?
There
Exactly.
you go.
Right.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go. There you go.
Exactly.
You know, anybody can tell you, man, you know, I got your back. You know, I got your back. Yeah, but with a gun or a knife, you know, with a
Right.
gun or with a knife, you know, because people might think the people in your circle, you know, that, you know, I'm so proud of you. And, you know, and man, they doing it. They doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then when they not around you, it's like, man, this nigga, yeah, man, y'all see this nigga? You know, he think this and this and this of himself. You know what I'm saying? But that's the same dude that was telling you how proud they were of you. So you got to watch the circle.
Mm-hmm. And usually on that type of time, because you know, some to speak to what you were just now saying, some people pray that that God removes people out of them lives, that don't serve them any good or any justice and shit. And it's just like, is that what we call divine intervention when those people eventually do fall off, or is it natural that they're not on your same frequency, so they're gonna just weave in and out at at certain points in times, and then eventually just not go there as long as your vibrations are up on a certain level.
But see, honestly, after you've been around an individual for a while, you already know if that person on your frequency. You just still choosing to let that person stay there.
For sure.
You choosing that. So it ain't like in intervention or whatever. You just finally saying, look, it's been fun, it's been real, I'm out. You know, sometimes you just gotta let go. It
Yep.
might hurt you. You know what? It's like, if it gonna hurt you to let them go, is it gonna hurt you to let them stay? Either way it go, if you pulling against it.
That's a,
Sometimes you gotta let it go. You know what I'm saying? You do.
that's that let go and let God. See.
Exactly. Exactly. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt because you done rock with this person for so long. You know what I'm saying? I done rocked, or I done dealt with this situation so long. You know, you don't know how to do. You don't know how to deal with it being, without that. That person or that property or whatever it might be, whatever that weed might be.
Right.
Mm,
Yep. That's
But
true.
that, like I say, that's all about growth. You know what I'm saying? It's all about growth.
Yeah.
And as old as I am, I'm 62 years old, but that don't mean that I still can't learn some stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
Mhm.
pop in here with you guys sometimes, because you know what? I like the way y'all Young Life just really like, give advice to each other and be there for each other, on every type of subject. I've been hearing a whole bunch of subjects, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
mm.
it's cool to hear you guys talk about this kind of stuff. And then it kind of be like, I mean, I might sidebar Lawan like, hey, Lawan, so this is what happened. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Me and my friend, when I'm around my friend, me and my friend, we talk. We had them conversations. So
Right.
Hmm.
It's healing too at the same time.
Yep.
We got the God in
The
the building.
God.
Peace, peace,
Oh, chips.
What's going on, man?
peace upon the family. How y'all feeling?
We good.
hello,
Grand.
I'm just jumping in, man, dropping my little gems here and there.
Right.
For sure.
Hey, yeah, I didn't even know y'all was having the podcast tonight, man. I would have pulled up. What time did it start at?
when you just walked in the building, bruh.
Oh, it's lit. It's lit. The party started. Nah, y'all good. Go ahead. I'm gonna just jump in when I jump in.
Oh yeah, no, you good. We're actually just talking about, what does it mean? I guess right now, more or less, what does it look like to let go and let God, or to let Jesus take the wheel.
Mm, okay.
And there's been a lot of different examples that's been thrown out there. One being, you know, um, from my perspective, anyways, to come out of your carnal sense of understanding to go into a higher self and see if that more fits what's going on, right? Then we also self was saying, like, sometimes when people let go and let God, they completely, just eject themselves from the situation, and I'm assuming pray for a different outcome. Trika came on there and she was saying something about not needing it to make sense, whatever's taking place, not needing it to make sense. So just basically saying like, it probably don't make sense on a human scale, but let me, where I'm at right now, it don't make sense and I don't need it to make sense. So let me figure a different way for it to make sense, or just let it be what it is. And I'm just going off the top of my head of what everybody was saying, the consensus. So I don't know if you want to add to that.
Shit, let go and let God. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, let go and let God. But you got to understand that when you're speaking about God, you're speaking about yourself, because there's no such thing as separation.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't separate yourself from God. Everything that you see, do, hear, feel, touch, taste, like it's all aspects of God. So you can't separate yourself from something that created you as you created it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really see
In my cup.
a force outside of you
Hand me my cup.
doing something for
No, hand me
you
my cup.
that you haven't done for yourself.
My cup. Get my cup.
For sure.
No, my cup.
You feel me?
Yep.
That's my perspective on it.
No.
Yeah, and see, and I agree with that, because
It looked like oh boy is talking, or he's muted or something.
oh my bad, I'm I'm just
Go
listening
ahead,
to you.
Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna throw in my 2 cents real quick. That's all. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
your
man.
2 cents might be worth a whole lot up in here, bruh.
All things seen and unseen is the body of the Creator. You know what I mean? So yeah, you are a part of the Creator. You are not without Him. He's not without you. That's what I'm talking about. So that's it. I was throwing in my 2 cents.
Mm. Hey,
Yes,
that's
sir.
dope what you just now said, the seen and unseen, right? Because
Uh-huh.
that's going back to to my analogy of what that is. Hey, who's that?
Well,
I got you.
Not just going real quick, Mike. Just going back to what that is just like sometimes from a human perspective, we can't see what's going on, right? We don't have the God's vision of the whole plan, right? So the unseen would be like, okay, well, we can't understand what's taking place versus God being able to see everything. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. So it's just like, now, what position do we put ourselves in? Do we want to stay in the blind faith, right? And then just let God do whatever God is doing, or do we actively try to see on our own type of time? But I'm gonna let you pick up from there.
well, the scene, right? The corporal world, everything around you. You know what I'm saying? Looking in the mirror, you can see yourself. You know what I'm saying? I can see you brothers in this cast. I can see us. You know what I'm saying? But I can't see my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can see my mouth move and my spirit move, which is my energy. You know what I'm saying? Me breathing in and out. You know what I'm saying? Me talking and mumbling my mouth. You know what I'm saying? But we can't actually see these words coming out.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So when we talk about God, I mean, we all know who God is. God is, if you really want to say God is the creator, okay, that's between you and your belief and what you think and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But me, you, anybody else in this room, Selfmade Woon, moms, you know what I'm saying, the goddess, you know what I'm saying? We are not the actual creator, but we do create. We didn't create suns, moons, and stars. You see what I'm saying? But we created. Like mom's created you one with the man that she dealt with when she had you. You know what I'm saying? So we are creators, yes, but we're not the creator. You know what I'm saying? So we are gods. Peace to y'all gods. Peace to y'all earth, because we are all part of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And you are also gods. You know. So but you know what I'm saying? If you represent, you know what I'm saying, God is the ever present, the omnipotent, the all knowing. You know what I'm saying? Meaning ever present, he is in all places at once. You know what I'm saying? the seen and the unseen. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he would be unseen because you're dealing with your inner spirit. You know what I'm saying? The spirit. You know what I'm saying? The I am. You know what I mean? So, um, letting go and let God is kind of like letting on your let go of your own selfish ways and letting God, that great spirit within you, really guide you and bring forth. You know what I'm saying? Because we are here to do, we are here for love. You know what I'm saying? And of course, experience. You know what I'm saying? But we are experiencing life through love. Meaning, we are here to what? Love our brother as ourselves, love our neighbor as ourselves, treat all people the way we want to be treated. And we are here, and the God work is to really be doing good works done towards others, lifting each other and raising each other up with any type of knowledge, get us on that higher consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And that's our charity we're doing for one another. It's that work. You know what I'm saying? You know, they say faith without works is dead. I mean, you know, we could pray all day, but what good is our prayer if we not lifting up a hand and doing any type of labor to make that prayer come into existence?
That's it.
You know what I mean?
I want to piggyback on something you
No,
said.
agree with that. Before you chime in on that, Hills, real quick, because I know, Mike, that you had mentioned that my mom and somebody, whatever. I had the Immaculate Conception. Just to be clear.
Wait, hold on.
You gotta unmute.
Hey, you muted, Fred.
Oh yeah, yep, I did that.
Okay. Would you go ahead? Go ahead, Hills.
Yeah, Hills was gonna say something.
Yeah, just a little small thing. Yeah, you're right about us not. You know, we're not on that side of creating. It's like I see it. It just came to me. It's like you building a house, right? For you to live in it. You know, we was once on that, side building, being that oneness. You know, what we call God or whatever you want to call it, the source. We was once on that side, and now we're on this side now, experience another version of the oneness. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Go ahead, moms. I got you. There you go.
How was you created, son?
She's like, yeah, we got to go back to that.
How was you created again?
How were we created in this physical?
She talking to Woon.
Excuse me. It wasn't no immaculate conception there, boy. I missed my sauce without the magnum and made a gangster. What you talking about? You better stop playing with me.
He is I and I am him.
Whatever. Mike, we going back to how we are creators, and I created that person that's there. He made himself to the person that he is, but I got him to where he needed to be, and he kept going. And I'm proud of his growth. You know what I mean? I am, but it took me and a Nintendo Switch cord to beat it to him, but he's there. He's there, But yeah. But anyway, you guys, I got to get off of here. I got to get up and drive home in the morning, but I love y'all. Thanks for allowing me to come on the show.
Mom, love you. Drive safe.
Mom,
Thank you.
I'm gonna step in with you.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Peace, Mom.
All right, bye, you guys.
All right.
Peace.
Yeah. Today, spring solstice, we got everybody in the building.
No energy, bro. For real.
For real.
Right.
Man, I want to go back to. So, hey, Mike, you what would you say the separation then is when you say we are not the creator, but we are creators? Like what separates us from the creator?
Well, it's not like really separation. We on a physical plane. We're in a corporal body. You know what I'm saying? We're actually mortals. You know what I'm saying? So we're not. We didn't create suns, moons, and stars. You know what I'm saying? But we are creating our reality through our experience. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I created your household, like the brother said, we're building our house. You know what I'm saying? That could be on many different planes, physically building your house, spiritually building your house. You know what I'm saying? We are actually creating our reality in life. You know what I'm saying?
So wait.
So
You
the
say
separation of, go ahead, I apologize.
no. I was just going to add on to what you were saying as far as like um dang, what see, I just lost my train of thought that quick.
I'm trying to find it.
I was trying to go. Go ahead.
Hey, real quick, so shout out to everybody that's in the chat. I see we got LB in here.
LB just pulled through.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
there we
wasn't even
go.
paying attention. Shout out to my cousin Ramisha.
Oh, that's what it. Okay, that's what I got. It just came back when you was talking about the us creating our reality. If we create our reality and there's suns and moons and stuff in our reality, would that signify that we created that as well?
I mean, all things seen and unseen is the body of the creator. Your soul and your spirit is a part of him. You know what I'm saying? So, that means, and your spirit is eternal. You know what I'm saying? So, if you want to say that, sure. You know what I'm saying? But right here in this physical plane, no, you didn't. But, if you're a part of him, if your soul and your spirit is a piece of the creator, and he created suns, moons, and stars, right? Then we are part of that creation, right?
But check this out though. Now this is coming at it from a different angle, right?
All right.
Suns, moons, and stars are all made out of what? Gas. You got
Sure.
gas planets.
Yeah.
You got solid
Yeah.
planets made out of rocks and different materials. And then you got plasma like the sun. You know what I'm saying? They different so
and think about it like this: your bones is like the rock,
right? Your cells, you got different types
yeah.
of cells made out of different gases and high.
That's why.
You know what I'm
At the end
saying?
of the day,
So
that's
it's
why
like
we Earth.
right, exactly, and that's why I'm like, it's that as above, so below. There is no separation. We do create the suns and the moons and the stars because we have all of that within us right now.
Within us, right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it is like it's the reflection of the inner outwardly, like you were saying, as far as like how we create our reality. You know what I'm saying? We create our reality based off of what's inside of us. You feel me? It's that exchange of the vision, the eye. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to that place of understanding, then you see the connection of like, damn, okay, I did create all of this because I got it within me that I've created, or I'm creating within my seeds that I continue to produce. You know what I mean? So to me, that's where there is no separation, because if I can do all the same things that the creator can do on either side, then what's the difference, you know?
And to think about it too, you know what I'm saying? The creator is forever creating and dissipating. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at life and every day, something, we're all creating something every day and dissipating something. You see what I'm saying? Between different people, you know what I'm saying? Because right now I'm sitting right here, but somewhere else, a baby is coming through a womb. Somewhere else, somebody's, coming together as one, as sexually be involved, creating. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and at the same time, somewhere right now, someone's dying, something's being destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So the creator is forever creating and dissipating, and so we're doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we're all created here to be like, brothers and sisters. Love your brothers yourself. Love your neighbor yourself, because you know what I'm saying. The creator is within you. You are the temple of the
Mm-hmm.
creator. You know what I'm saying?
I
You know
want
what I
to
mean? So you
add to
so
that.
go ahead, brother.
Oh no, just real quick. It was something that Hills had said about being on both sides, right? So
Mhm.
we were on the builder side, right? Meaning the creation side, and we created everything, and now we're on the opposite side of what that looks like. So actually being the creator and the creation, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know if you were saying it in that way, Hills, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
just
yeah. That was
okay.
yep. That was
I'm gonna just build from there, right? So if we're going back to where we was at with the let go and let God, right? So if we're coming from this creator stance, and then we put ourselves into the creation stance, and just like I said, so now and the separation that we're talking about right now is just that, the creator and the creation, right? But we
Mhm.
never lose the creator energy, right? We never that line never gets blurred. It's still that connection is there, right? So there is no real separation. So this is how, and the stance of what we're talking about as far as the show about letting go and letting God. If we were once the creator and then we got into the creation's position, it's a phone call back to your higher self to say, hey, why the fuck did I build this shit again? Right? And
Right.
now that you're
Right.
in the position, it's just like, oh, I can make that phone call to get the answers and shit, right? Because we are cellular, so we have that cellular connection, right? So it's just like, so when we look at
Mhm.
it from that perspective, it's a phone call away, or what people like to call a prayer, or however we look at it. But it's just like, okay, but it's just a switching in energies or frequencies, switching in positions for real. I just wanted to say that because Hills made that clear when I was thinking about, how he was tying into, what we were talking about. So I just want to say that.
Mhm.
Hey, yeah, I want to touch on that too, like, because I feel like, all of us, we kind of know we have that higher understanding. So it's like, let's go ahead and build and expand on that because we already at a certain level with it, right? So I want to ask, like, what is that call? Like, what does that call look like? I guess, like, how do you channel the creator, your higher self, in the creation in real time? Like, what is the practice and the movements and the methods of that to be able to channel that?
Hey, and I'm gonna probably speak last because I just spoke, but just real quick, that's ultimately the question that kind of kicked off this show, right? That kind of started it because Dante, he's probably busy right now, but he was asking, ultimately what you're asking, like, how do you get into that space, especially when you got like a lot of different things happening in your life? How do you shut all of those down and then just go straight to that one call? Like, you know what I mean? I got all
Hmm.
the people calling. How do I make this one call? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm yeah. If anybody want to first, it's all good.
Man, I would say just well, I feel like the processes can be different, because we all different. We do it
Mhm.
all different ways and shapes or whatever. Well, for me, what I do is, I basically sit in the dark with myself, sit with myself, meditate, and for a certain time where there's no thoughts, you know, it's just you. And that's when you can you have more connection because those thoughts that's running in your head, that's the little fuzziness, the little how you get in connection.
Mhm.
So for me, it's just like silencing that out and going straight to, the voice though. It's a feeling, and that you're getting information. Like instance, I woke up this morning and instantly, like the voice came to me. It was like it said the pain is only here to evolve us and make us better. And it made me go into different scenarios like shit, working out is hurtful, but at the same time, it's building you up. It's making you stronger mentally, physically, and so you just have to know that voice. And I recognized it today when I woke up. I was like, dang, that was like refreshing. I was like, dang, it just popped to me. So you know how you hear all them rattles in your head, like when you moving, just working and stuff, it's rattles. But when you hear that voice, it's just a feeling like, okay, I'm connected. You know, I'm tapped in right now. So it's different ways, like, you know, going to nature. You know, that's another process. I've been sleeping on myself. I'm about to get into it this summer for sure. But going to nature, man, connecting with the trees, the water, you know, connecting with you. That's like a phone call, you know. So yeah.
I think too, like that isolation for sure. I think that aspect, the self-isolation and, you know, taking that time to yourself helps you tune into that intuition, you know, like the inner knowing. Because you can have a whole bunch of thoughts going on in your head, and, you know, it's like you scan and it's like, damn, okay, I got this, I got this, I could try this, I could try this. So which one do I pick? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's like the right one is the one that you choose. You know what I mean? Like the path itself, you may feel lost at times, but it's like if you within that higher understanding, if you automatically know everything's working for the benefit of me, then any path that you choose was your path to choose. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that everything is working for you should give you the confidence to, you know what I mean? Like pick a path and know that path is what's going to get you to where you need to go. You know what I mean? But I do feel like a lot of it is intuitive as well. Like it's all tied in, you know what I mean? To solitude, you know, because like if you know something's wrong, a lot of times you kind of put yourself in them positions anyway. Like at a certain point, you're gonna be like, man, I ain't going out tonight. I keep going out and I'll come back and you know, this is happening, something, you know, whatever the situation is. And you start to see the patterns. I think that's why you even get to the point of wanting to make that phone call, is because you recognize that there's something going on that you're not feeling, that you're not vibing with, and that you need to figure out. And just that instance within itself is like letting you know, okay, maybe I need to go sit, because if you don't, you're going to keep getting the same result until you know, switch it up and do something different to where you get a different outcome. You know what I mean?
For sure. I like, hold on, because I got to pull it back up real quick. So Alicia said, you know, water is everything. And I'm listening to everybody talk right now, and I was just about to bring up water, right? Because I was going to say, ultimately, you know, change your channel, right? And we know that channels deal with water and shit, right? But also we understand that water is also a conduit for energy, right? So if we're changing channels, we're changing frequencies and shit, right? So I know sometimes when I need to get into that space, I'll submerge myself into, y'all see me, real niggas take bubble baths. So I'll submerge myself into some water, and then I'll play some, you know, 432 hertz music, right? And then just like what you were saying, Self, was just like, then whatever path that you choose to pick, aka whatever channel that you choose to turn to, is going to be the one that you're ultimately currently, speaking of the current, right, that you're currently going to take, and then that's going to still be the right path. So when you get a chance to be isolated and in that space to where like, okay, now I got all these different frequencies around me and shit, right? Going back to to the original question, I got all of this shit going on, all these different frequencies. How do I say fuck this path, fuck that path, fuck this one? How do I get onto mine, right? And just like what everybody's saying right now, there's a multitude of different ways to get there, but that's my own personal one. Like I submerge myself in the water, I sit and chill for hours. I felt like a fish one day. I was in that
Got
motherfucker.
all wrinkly and shit.
But it's just like, again, not only is the frequency hitting, the actual water that I'm submerged in, is also touching the water that I'm made of. Like, you know what I mean? So it's hitting it twice. Like, you know what I mean? So on that type of time, it's just like, hell yeah. And then not only that, because if I'm not listening to music, I'm making those phone calls, I'm talking to people, and they're also helping me navigate through the currents, right? They're actually like, okay, where your frequency? Oh, okay, I see it. Boom. And I'll be like, all right, nigga. And a lot of people don't even know that I'm doing that because we do it so regular that it's just like, okay, this is natural conversation, but at the same time, that's still happening. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, hey,
yeah, that's fire.
I wanna hey Neff, is Neff muted?
I don't know. I think Neff got off and TV got on.
Yeah.
I think he froze.
Yeah, no, he'll come back in. But yeah, my bad, Mike, because I meant to speak last, but when she posted her water thing, I was just like, yeah, let me speak to that real quick. So if you want to speak to that, Mike.
No, man, we're electrical beings, you know what I'm saying? You need to connect with the electricity, you know what I'm saying? With the currents, the water, your fruits, your vegetables, you know what I'm saying? This is all electrical food that you really need to replace and put back in your body, you know what I'm saying? Because you're an electrical being, you know what I'm saying? You aboriginal, you know what I'm saying? You made of 150 trillion cells that eat and sleep shit just like you do, you know what I'm saying, full of electricity. So you need to replenish your body with the electrical elements, you know what I'm saying? So, that's that, and that's honestly when you replenishing the electricity in your body and you staying electrical, you know what I'm saying, and you not putting things in your body that's dead, but it's full of electricity. That's how you really connecting, tuning in with your higher consciousness, the creator. You know what I'm saying? And staying in that tune to hear his voice, you know what I'm saying? Because like the brother above said, you know what I'm saying, when he just sit back and cut off all his thoughts and everything, he just meditates, you know what I'm saying? He hearing the voice of the creator through his own feelings or his own motions, you know what I'm saying? Motion, you know what I'm saying? Because motion is the speech of the creator. All motion, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's why I like that Owaspi, man, because it gives you that full understanding of all that without. It's just like when you read it, it's just like telling you what you already know, with confirmation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for instance, if I wanted to really go into a certain part of that to really help that bring out, it's like it says right here, and it says all was, all is, all ever shall be. The all spoke, and motion was, and is, and ever shall be. And being positive was called he and him, and all motion was his speech.
Yeah, that motion for sure.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah, I like that.
That's deep.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I am. And he comprehended all things, the seen and the unseen. Nor is there anything in the universe that is not part of him. He said, I am the soul of all, and all that is seen is part of my person and body. By virtue of my presence, all things are. By virtue of my presence, life is. By virtue of my presence, the living are brought forth into life. I am the quickener, the mover, the creator, the destroyer. I am first and last. I am two apparent entities. Nevertheless, I am only one. These entities are the unseen, which is potent, and the seen, which is of itself impotent and called corporal. With these two entities in likeness, I myself through them, I made all the living. For as the life is the potent part, so is the corporal part is the impotent part. Chief over all, the chief over all that live on the earth. I made man, male and female. I made them, and so that man could distinguish me. I commanded him to give me a name. By virtue of my presence, I commanded him. And man did not name me by anything in heaven or on the earth. In obedience to my will, he named me after the sound the wind utters. And he said, Ah, which is now pronounced Jehovah, and it's read thus. So I just wanted to share that little bit. See if that made sense to anybody.
That's Mike.
Oh, I thought it was. The more that he was reading, the louder it was. Hey, he got some
Nigga had
energy.
spirit going in the shit. His phone.
But there's he was reading out of the Owaspy, and
Okay.
you know, kind of going back to, you know, to where we was at. If we have a multitude of different things, because you know, and Mike is here, so I'm not trying to speak for him, but you know, just coming from, you know, the Hebrew, I guess you want to say, what's the King James Bible, and then maybe, you know, that probably wasn't his way to get the answers that he needed. So then now he's in the Owaspy, like, you know what I mean, and that may be his current, like right now, or his frequency to where it's at right now. So, and of course, you know, the Book of Nazarene. I know Mike does a lot of studying. So it's just like all to figure out what is, right?
Yeah.
And you know, there's like how we're all saying right now, like it's more than one way to get that phone call through. Like, you know what I mean? There's more than one way to, you know, to make that connection. So you know, and all these things are at our disposal for real. So it just depends on, you know, again, like how for me, it's just like, you know, you have to know yourself, right? You have to know what frequency is right for you at that particular time. You have to be aligned with the frequency, right? And it's just like if you are not aligned with the frequency, if we're talking about energy, we talk about currents, you're going to get shocked, right? And it's like, oh shit, that shit was shocking. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm shocked that this is happening, but it's just like, no, it's not happening how you want it to happen because you're not aligned with the currency and shit. You're swimming against the current, and you're gonna like, you know what I mean, on some real shit. So it's just like, no, flow with the current, flow with what's going on, and then you're gonna find out when you need to stroke or backstroke or stroke at all. You just let that shit flow, like, you know what I mean. So
Right.
yeah, it's a multitude of different ways, but my ultimate thing would just to be, you know, to just like we're talking about, you know, be in isolation and tap in with whatever frequency that you know find yourself to be on. And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna pass it. Even when it's the wrong one, that wrong one is leading you to the right one.
Exactly.
No, yeah, that's fire. Yeah, no, I like that for sure, man. And I feel like I believe the more that you practice and the more that you exercise these type of methods, these ancient methods that our ancestors used to use to be able to channel, you know, source or the creator or the highest self, like you could be able to then pull more from that, and you should receive more from that too.
For
And
sure.
I was gonna ask y'all too, like when y'all do channel, right? Like, is it like what sense is being tapped into? Like when you channel and you isolate yourself to channel, is it something that you're feeling? Is it intuitive? Is it something that you're hearing? Is it something that you're seeing? Is it visible? Like what sense is being tapped into when you do channel and receive from, you know, the creator?
That's a
Or
dope.
is it all of them?
Yeah, that's a dope question. I might we could pass the mic around.
Who want to go? Somebody want to go?
Yeah, well, I'll say it's the feeling and the voice for me. So I can connect the two from the feeling and the voice. So that's how I know, okay, this is the channel that I want to be on or I want to receive from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's for me.
I like that. I like this comment. A great way with meditation that has worked for me is breathing techniques and body movements while I meditate to move any stagnant energy and bring in the positive.
Yeah, shout out to the homegirl Jeanette. I gotta, because I'm listening right now, so I'm not paying attention to the screen. But shout out to you, Jeanette. You definitely got to pull up to the show, for sure.
I was gonna say, you know how they say that sixth sense. I feel like that's, you know, this. You got your five physical senses, and then you got that sixth sense. I think that sixth sense encompasses all of the first five. And so the things that you feel, I feel like you're gonna feel it all. You know what I mean? Like when you channel, you're gonna feel different energies, especially depending upon what you're channeling, because everything that you channel ain't gonna be on the same frequency. That's why, like what Woon was saying earlier, you know, they call channels. So it's like you're gonna be flipping through these channels. And when you flip through the channel, you go from one station to another, you might get a whole different feeling. You may get a whole different, you know, thought pattern happening in your mind. So you might start seeing different colors. Like, you know, everything changes depending upon what it is that you're channeling and at what frequency, you know, those vibrations is coming through.
Right.
Mm-hmm. For me, damn. It's like because I know, you know, some people in the chat said, like, you know, it's all of the above, right?
Mm-hmm.
The dopest feeling for me, and it might not be like one of those options that you have put out there, Fred, but it's confirmation, right? And it's just like, if I'm and I'm gonna take it to a prayer stance. If I'm praying for something and then that shit happens and it's just like, oh, there goes that confirmation, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just like, and I don't, because I can't say, because again, it's encompassing all things, right? The feeling, the, you know, everything that we're talking about, the senses, the hearing of, like, you know, all of these, you know, all of the senses or whatever. But for me to actually live it, right, to be in motion, going back to what Janetta was saying, and that was going to what Mike was saying, like, you know, everything, the motion, like, you know, you're putting this shit into motion, right? Because it's just like receiving knowledge, right? And you can just receive knowledge and just have knowledge, but until you put that shit into motion or actually living it, that's when it becomes wisdom, right? That's when you're taking it from knowledge to wisdom. So if we're asking for, you know, for God to take the will, or for Jesus to take the will, or for let go and let God, you're ultimately looking for some type of clarity to help you move forward in life, right? So for me, it's just like to get that confirmation, and then for me to walk in it. And I'm not trying to get you, Fred, but I can't describe that feeling. Only
I feel it.
that I could say is, because like for me, as soon as I get it, then I turn into a creator. So I get the energy and then I flip it back around. As soon as I get that confirmation, I'm pushing it right back, you know, full circle type shit. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, like a lot of different shit. Like, you know what I mean? If that answers the question.
No, yeah, it sounds intuitive for sure.
Okay, I got you. Yep.
That's a little chat box.
Yeah. Do you think, Mike?
You know,
My bad, you was muted. I didn't. I didn't hear that you had said it.
No, I'd say con, like it's in yes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That's
right,
what the
right, right.
Hebrews says when we say yes, we say con.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But that's about it, you know. I got more stuff I like to feed, but you know, yeah. See if anything, you know, can you know, see if anything makes sense to others in here. Sky something I read to you before, won't?
I'm sorry.
Sky something I read to you before.
What are we talking about? The Book of Nazarene? We talking about the Owaspi? Are you strictly the?
I'm talking. I mean, you know, I dabble and dabble of all of them. You know what I'm saying? You know, WASP helps us understand and kind of decodes the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of contradictions in the Bible itself. You know what I'm saying? And it helps us really get a clear understanding of who wrote things, but even the Bible tells you who wrote it, and the Bible itself, like we all say the Bible is the truth. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that 100%. The Bible is the truth, but to really understand that the Bible is the truth is to know that the Bible itself tells you that there's lies written in what you call the Torah or the books of the law. You know what I'm saying? So,
For the people,
you know, having a clear.
hold on, real quick
I
before
mean,
you.
it's some
Yeah,
deep stuff that you can really get in to help you really see what's really going on in the Bible.
I got
You know what I'm
before
saying?
quick, cousin, I'm out here by Chicago right now. And real quick, Mike, for the people who may not be familiar with the Owaspi, can you let them know what the three things that breaks down into?
O represents sky, Spade. Oh, represents earth, and Spade represents spirit. So sky, earth, spirit.
Okay, I just want to.
Sky, earth, spirit. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of like, you know, what you kind of made of. Sky, earth, and spirit. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I mean, it was kind of getting a little quiet, so I was like, you know what, fuck it. Let me read something. See what comes out. You know what I mean? See what resonates with anybody. You know what I'm saying? This is the Book of Judgment, chapter 20. Say God declares the day of judgment, and He also bequeaths liberty to all men. Says there shall be a day of judgment to you, O man. Sooner or later, you shall take the matter into your own hand, and you shall look into your own soul to judge yourself. This comes to all men. None can escape it. Such then is the judgment day. Let no man complain against the judge. You shall be your own judge. And everyone judges against himself, and sooner or later cries out, "Oh Jehovah, I have sinned against you. In my youth I tried to find excuses for my behavior, but now I'm broken down utterly." After judgment comes reformation and resurrection, which begin within a man as a new tree of life. But whether you shall judge yourself in this life or wait until you are dead and risen in spirit, the matter is in your own hands. Yet it would be better for you if you would sit in judgment on yourself every day of your life by touching the matter of how you shall judge yourself. Hear the wisdom of your God, O man, your elder brother, and benefit accordingly. Because of the ever presence of Jehovah, you were quickened into a conscious being. Your earth body is of the earth, so is your spirit of Jehovah. Nevertheless, spirit is the opposite of corporal life, for the latter comes to an end, but the spirit of a man is a tree of everlasting life. Your spirit grows by cultivation, which is by the practice of truth, virtue, benevolence, and affiliation with others. Do not think that the soul grows by prayers or confession to this God or that God, For none shall be exalted for words without works. Yet, and whatever God you firmly believe, you may worship him, for he is your choice. Nor shall any man prevent you in this your liberty. But remember, the same rule holds for you in this day. You shall never see the God you worship, unless indeed it is an idol, a deceiving spirit, of an image of wood or stone, or some corporeal substance. For behold, I have cast out all gods, lords, and saviors of the earth, and in the heavens of the earth. And when the spirits of the dead come to you in search, saying, behold me, I am your Savior, I am your Lord, I say to you, all such spirits are true dust, which is an evil spirit. Nevertheless, if you worship a God or Lord, then let such be a role model to you, to cast your eyes into your own soul, to purify yourself in the sight of your Creator, whom you cannot doubt. In that respect, it is no sin for you to worship any good ideal whom you shall emulate in your behavior. Yet, because of such worship, this you shall also prove, that whatever the ancients was great, or whatever God was well known, that you set your soul on the love. Behold, familiar spirits will come to you to deceive you, professing to be that ancient or that God. And if you believe them, then this too you shall prove. When you are dead, and your soul risen from the dead, behold, some deceiving spirit will come to use you. Nor shall you discover for a long season that you have been the dupe and the slave of an unscrupulous master.
See, now
For
that
this day in the lower, for this day in the lower heavens, there are millions of false Brahmas, millions of false Buddhas, millions of false Christ, millions of false Gabriel gods. Whoever binds himself to these names while on earth becomes a fit subject for evil spirits to fall upon him when he enters heaven. Do not think that great wisdom comes suddenly by dying. In your early entrance into the S world, you shall easily be deceived. For which reason you shall school yourself every day of your life, that your Creator only is your God, and that you shall never see him as you see a man or an angel, but that you can see him every day in the glory of his work. So we'll stop right there.
you said a whole bunch. At a certain point, like in the beginning part of what you were saying was cool, and then at a certain point, it started to get real churchy and like feeling real like religious, as far as like the worshiping the other deities, and then having like in a sense like a problem with it, right? But you said I don't want to forget what, because you said something about making judgment. He said something about making judgment, and if you don't, you can take evil spirits into heaven. Is that what you said, or is that what it said?
No. I'm gonna go back.
Yes.
Okay, so
Hey, are you?
it just started getting into, because you got religions around the world that have these names. When you're dealing with Brahma, you're dealing with Hinduism. You know what I'm saying? They have their own names. You know what I'm saying? And you were dealing with Buddhists. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with Sakai or Buddha. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with Christianity, you're dealing with Christ, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? When you dealing with the Gabriel God, which is Allah, Islam, and you know what I'm saying, Muslim. You know what I'm saying? People take these names and you know, they now there's truth in every religion, but there's also falsehood in every religion. You know what I'm saying? So when you take these names and you wait until you're dead, right? And according to what this is saying, I don't know, because I ain't been dead yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so according to what this is saying, it's like when you oh, I'm a believer in Christ. Christ came to die for me on the cross, blah, blah, blah. When I die, oh, I'm looking for Christ. I'm coming to Christ. Well, there's a spirit, an ancestor, somebody who died long before you, who took upon that name and said, I am the Christ. Come with me and follow me. And you come to follow him, and you don't even know that that's not the real Christ. You know what I'm saying? That's not your creator, and you believe in that deity. You know what I'm saying? And he done had you come into his lower heavens on earth, not letting you rise higher in wisdom, love, and
Okay, so let
benevolence.
me. I see what you're saying.
Because
I
we
see.
all gotta cross over and die. When we die, we gotta rise in power.
Okay.
Meaning, yeah. So I just say that.
So
Because I ain't been dead
how
yet.
do you decipher how would you decipher which one's the false gods?
Well,
Because
I
it
mean-
sounds like that's why I was saying religious, because it sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when the
yeah.
Christians be like,
because
this God is the only true God and all the other gods is false, but then everybody else say the same shit too, you know?
they all say the same thing, right. So therefore, it's like, are you trusting in what men tell you? Are you gonna trust in that ever-present Creator that's within you, that's within your own soul? Are you? Cause it sounds like to me, since I've been sitting here with y'all brothers and we've been building, y'all dealing with the Creator. Y'all not dealing with a religious aspect. Y'all not dealing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I mean, you dealing with something. The brother said he's meditating. He let all things quiet down, and through his own feelings, the Creator is speaking through him. You know what I'm saying? So he's not dealing with a religious aspect. You know what I'm saying? He's not dealing with a Christ. Yeah, Christ told me this, told me that. No, he's dealing with his internal aspect, that great spirit which is within inside. You know what I'm saying? That's connected to the soul and the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody here that's why I started. Okay, let me go ahead and try to, because it got quiet. So I said, let me try to read those, see if anything makes sense to anybody. That's all. And you ain't gotta believe in any of it. Because matter of fact, you shouldn't believe in anything. You know what I'm saying? But you should know. Well, you should know your inner self. Right, your higher consciousness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with religions, you are dealing with falsehood. You're dealing with things that, you know what I'm saying, you're dealing with traditions, doctrines, commandments of men. You know what I'm saying? You're not dealing with the Creator. You're dealing with a God, because if you understand the word God and what God actually means, it's a Germanic word. And we speak in a Germanic language. And then this Germanic word, it actually means deity. But go ahead, my brother. Go ahead. My bad.
No, you good.
Yeah.
I think that when you do deal with these other quote unquote deities, you are dealing with God. Like, just like how we were saying earlier, there is no,
because God is a deity, and I just read off the names of other gods who are professing themselves to be a creator. Because when you're dealing with Christianity, these Christians will say, well, Christ is the creator. Christ created all. You know what I'm saying? Well, and if you really want to get deep on the things, and I don't really want to go to yet, because I'm only trying to bring out just tiny little bits. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to read this because at the end of the day, I think we can all relate that we are the judges of ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I've heard y'all say it many times.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just getting down to it. So don't be deceived by following what's bound to the earth. You know what I'm saying? Because you are bound to earth, and what is bound on earth is bound in heaven. You know what I'm saying? So if there's deception on this earth, then there's deception when you cross over into the lower heavens.
But that's what I was saying. Like, for instance, the deception, just like in these books, the deception is not necessarily deception, because it's there for a reason. It has a purpose. It's doing a job, and that's why I was saying it's serving the same purpose that all quote unquote deception would be serving, which is to keep things moving. You know what I mean? You don't learn without the fire. You don't learn without that thing that's keeping you moving. So that's the purpose and the point of having the bad or the negative or the deception, however you want to call it, however you want to look at it. But it's there for a reason to keep you going. So just as much as you could say God don't want you to do it, well, he created it. Why would he create something that he doesn't want you to?
Didn't want you to do.
It has a purpose. That's why you created it. So if you're creating all these other gods, all the other gods is still God. and they hold a purpose. You're supposed to go through them. If that pathway connects you to the higher energy or your higher self within you, it is the right path. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I'm seeing this. It says, why speak with the middleman when you can speak directly to the source? That's great. That's the truth. Why speak to the middleman when you're speaking directly to the source through your meditation? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Well, that's the source, because you are the source. You know what I'm saying? Why deal with something that's indirect when you could be dealing with something that's very direct within inside you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean?
I think
So,
the deception,
yeah, I mean,
the deception leads you to the connection. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I've been deceived in all these, you know what I'm saying, coming out of the world and coming into, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but you know what I'm saying? That came from one deception into another deception. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not that I'm not an Israelite, but that's deception within the teachings, within your own scriptures. Because the Bible tells you that there's deception in scripture. Matter of fact, this is Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8, where it says, how do you say we're wise, and the law of the Lord with you? For lo, surely in vain made he it. The pen of the scribes was in vain. So how do you say we are wise and the law of the Lord is with you? For lo, surely it was the lying pen of the scribes who's made it for falsehood. What they made for falsehood out of the Torah, what we got the Torah is what? From Genesis to Deuteronomy. I mean, it's just telling you right then and there, there were lies that was written when they created the manuscripts. When the scribes were scribing things in there. You know what I'm saying? And most of us Hebrew Israelites and most of us Christians will say that, okay, well, you know, Moses wrote the Torah. You know what I'm saying? Moses wrote from Genesis to Deuteronomy. Well, according to 2nd Ezra chapter 14, thy law was burnt. And that's verse 14, chapter 14, verse 21, where it says thy law was burnt, and no man knew the laws and the ways of creation. Nobody knew it. Nobody knew the laws. So Ezra, if you read that whole chapter, chapter 14, the second book of Ezra in the Apocrypha, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna find out that Ezra rewrote. He took a psychedelic. He drank a glass of water that was a color of fire, and when he drank it, his breast grew understanding. He started mumbling out his mouth, and he had scribes who wrote by day, and he held his tongue by night, and they wrote 204 books, 70 put away to the wise, and 134 to be published. Well, that's 134 books of Torah. We only got 5 books today. But that's on a whole different subject, you know what I'm saying? Right. I'm just trying to share something with y'all and see how it made y'all feel, you know what I'm saying? See if it connected with y'all in any type of way. There's more to really read to that. I would just like to get back to reading if y'all want to hear it, but you know, we can continue. I continue answering some type of questions to the best of my knowledge.
I mess with the judgment part. Yeah, when they said God go and judge, yeah, you're only within you to only judge.
Yeah. God can only judge, right? Because you can only judge yourself. Because you are God and you're here to judge yourself. So only God can judge. Me, Mike, Isla, Michael, Mike, you know what I'm saying? I can only judge myself because I'm a God. Just like you, Selfmade, is a God. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? You're here to judge yourself. You're here to judge the books you're reading. Because if you don't judge the books you're reading, you're going to be caught up in the snare. And we've all been caught up in the snare, not judging what's written in what we call a Bible. You know what I'm saying? We caught up in snares. But at the end of the day, what does the deception do, like you said? It brings you right to the sword. It brings you right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I want to bring in the comments. God is divine is going crazy in the comments.
Going crazy. I was looking.
She said, "All paths lead you home." That's why I was saying it's like everything is working.
Yeah, man.
The same outcome.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's the first and the last, which means no matter what you do on the in between, the last, it's the same shit at the last end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The first was the first from where you came out your womb, and then the last is where the last. At the end, you You know what I'm saying? You know.
She said the lost and the
Yeah.
found are in the same department. Like,
God, they are.
All right.
bars.
Because you lost it, and they put it in the lost department, and then you went and found it.
Right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Yeah.
Everything's tethered together, man. You just gotta tap in.
Hey,
Right.
look at this. What do you think about this? There is no judgment. Whatever religion that calls you, go for it. It's what feeds your soul and makes you, as an individual, be a better person. You will know what is right to you. I
That's your liberty.
fucks with that because
I fucks with that too, because that's your liberty.
the judgment that you talk about is natural.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Like,
what we
it's
reading.
a natural
It's natural.
thing. When you have to make a decision by default, it don't even matter what it is, nigga. If you want Coca-Cola or some Sprite, like, you gotta judge why you want this one over the other one. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is judgment if you really want to look at it like that, or there is no such thing as judgment because it's a part of what you do on an everyday, like you were saying, Mike, it's an everyday thing. You judge yourself every day in every situation that you go through, because if you're making choices, you're making judgments just by right off the rip. You know what I mean? So really, there is no judgment because that's just a part of the way that you make your decisions. Like,
What you are,
you know what I mean?
Judging the mental.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Because again, you know what it is. Like, you go down, you start looping and hitting the same pattern. You're gonna get tired of the pattern. You're gonna judge yourself and be like, I need to make something. I need to make a change. I need to do something different. And boom, you're gonna make that shift, and that's gonna put you on another path. And then you're gonna continue to do this because I could have sworn I seen somebody say it, but you're navigating your path, like it's your path, and you're navigating through life. That's the journey, you know.
So,
what do you think about this? Religion is but a guide map for the lost.
It's up to you. If that's your God, it's your God. You know what I'm saying? You have your liberty to choose which way you want to go. So if you feel your religion is your guide and you was once lost, now you found, hey, you know, hey, as long as your religion has you look deep inside to your own soul, look deep within yourself, you know what I'm saying, to make a better you, then, hey, all praise. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, for which reason you shall school yourself every day of your life that your Creator only is your God, and that you shall never see Him as you see a man or an angel, but that you can see Him every day in the glory of His works. With this faith in your soul, you shall die and enter heaven fearlessly. And when a pretended God or Savior comes to you asking tribute, you shall know in truth He is false. Now therefore, when you judge yourself to determine the balance of your good and evil deeds and your good and evil thoughts, let your Creator stand as a light of your soul, and through Him judge yourself, but not as to your worship, but as to your works. Neither shall you judge yourself by any God, Lord, or Savior, or an idol, nor by any man or woman, but you yourself stand second to Jehovah in your attributes. It is your responsibility to make a God of yourself in your behavior and in your words and deeds. Neither shall you judge yourself by any sacred book or any Bible in the entire world, nor by the words within them perpetrate to be my words, are the words of any God, Lord, or Savior. For I have abolished all such sacred books and Bibles and words, sayings contained in them, perpetrating to be my words, and the words of any God, Lord, or Savior. Neither shall you bind yourself by them, nor judge yourself by anything that is written or printed in them. But behold, I declare to you a greater glory and judge in their place, which is Jehovah, your Creator. By Him and through Him you shall judge and be judged. Books are imperfect, but Jehovah never. Neither shall you from this time forward swear by any book, under the sun, nor by any God, Lord, Savior, Spirit, or idol, or image. But you shall swear by Jehovah, your Creator. You shall covenant yourself to Jehovah only, and you shall do this in your own way only, and not according to any book, Bible, priest, church, or spirit. Behold, the former times, the pre-cosmon era, are passed away. Just so you know, cosmon means balance. So we are actually in a time of balance. See what I'm saying? So I passed away, and your God sets aside the bondage of the former times also. They were sufficient for the times that were created. Today, a man shall not be judged like a child, nor shall man's judgment be bound by the things that were intended for man before he attained judgment. Have you not observed the signs of the times? What I give you here in words, Jehovah manifest over all the length and breadth of the world. None can stop the hand of the Almighty or negate the words of your God. I mean, that was it. I just want to share that little piece with y'all and see how y'all felt about it. See if it resonates. See if it made you get mad and want to, you know, you know what I mean? And blow some fire, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, at the end of the day, I think a lot of things in here resonate.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah. They
A lot of
do.
things resonate.
Sure. I
You know,
think
it
it's
makes
just. I
sense.
mean, just like at least with me, when it comes to the Bible, a lot of shit resonates. When I
Yeah, yeah.
read the
Right.
Bhagavatam, the Srila Bhagavatam, when I read the Bhagavad Gita, some Hindu, like
Right.
all that stuff be
Yeah,
resonating. You know what I mean? It
yeah.
just depends
Yeah.
on
You
your
know,
perspective and how you're looking at these stories. If you taking the stories literal, or are you taking the
you getting the esoteric knowledge out of it.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like
And
because
that's what you really
you
should
going
be
through
looking
life,
for.
you gonna get that anyways. It's
Right.
just how you looking at it.
Yeah. You know, so I mean, but that was it, man. You know,
So is that the only,
shoot.
like, do you read other like texts, or is
Yeah,
that
man. I
only?
read, I read, I read, I read the Gospel of the Nazarenes. You know what I'm saying? The Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, the Essene Gospel of Peace. I read the Bible. The Bible's good for us.
Mhm.
There's some bullshit written in it, but the Bible told you there was some bullshit in it. Now you know when you read it and you get in that understanding within it, you gonna see and you gonna know that hey, the Bible's the truth. You know what I'm saying? You might could say the shade of the Bhagavad Gita. I ain't never read it, but you know what I'm saying. You might could say that too. You know what I'm saying? Because you might can relate with what a lot of things that you read in there, how it relates and pertains to your own life and your own walk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Just get a little piece out of it. Because, like you said, the books aren't perfect, including that one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, at the end of the day, man, I mean, look, put it like this, man. There's no easier book read than the Creator's created worlds. So just by observing things around you, that's the easiest book read. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're going to understand your creator in a better way by just looking in within your own soul. You know what I'm saying? Meditate,
Right.
pray. You know what I'm saying? Observing things around you, looking into nature. You know what I'm saying? Getting in that water, getting that electricity flow. You know what I'm saying? Feeding your body the electrical food the electrical body needs. You dig what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, can
Building
y'all hear
block.
me?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah, I
back
can hear
in here
you.
Oh, what's
now.
up?
Man, my shit was fucking geeking, no cap.
I'm
Yeah, I
like,
see you
man,
going
here
in
we
and
go
out.
again.
Yeah. Hey, but I was trying to I was trying to say, going all the way back to the last thing that I seen you read, Mike, and it was sounding like it was on some I am shit, right? Like, like ultimately don't get caught up in tapping in with different entities and shit, right?
Right,
So then
right, right.
the now because now we're playing on two different fields, right?
Right.
It's an instruction to say don't tap in with certain energies and shit, right?
Yeah.
Because we understand how fast that people can get caught up in different energies and shit, right? when you're ultimately supposed to be trying to find self, right? So
Right.
then, if we understand that we are on a mission to find self, then we may have to go through all these different things in order to do it, right? So going back to what God is divine was saying, both the lost and the non-lost are in the same boat, ultimately on the same mission, right? But
Right.
it goes back to the scripture in the Bible to where it says, there is no sin where there is no law, right?
Right. Right.
And that's going to say it's just like, so if that's just like you got a baby and you need to school your baby on what to do, you're going to tell it what not to do, right? Versus when
Right.
you become an adult, now you're able to move at your own leisure, right?
Right.
So you don't need to tell a grown man don't follow another man because that's a grown man, right?
Right. Right.
But even in the event of that grown man following another grown man, he's still going to whatever path that he has is still going to lead him there. But the best results would be to tap into self. So when you was reading what you read, for me it was just like, okay, that fuck all these other things that people think that they may need to hold on to. Tap in with self.
That's exactly what it was saying.
That's it.
Right. So that's what I heard when you was reading it. But I also understand Selfmade's question when it's just like, okay, but even if you do choose to do that, that's still a way. That's still a path.
Right, right. Because even it said it's not a sin for you to choose whatever you may worship any god you want to worship. It's your choice. Ain't no sin in that. As long as it has you look into your own soul and do right. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sin in that. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to be a Christian and follow and think you following Christ, which most Christians don't. But okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? As long as it has you, looking into your own soul and change the way you were doing things to rise higher in some type of love or benevolence or wisdom, hey man, ain't nothing wrong with it. Do what you
For
do.
for sure. And now that I'm thinking about it, we was having a conversation yesterday about rules versus instruction, right? And it's just like, and we were talking about the 10 Commandments. So it's just like those, I guess you want to call those rules, maybe, or laws, maybe, right? To where it's just like, okay, now I'm telling you what not to do versus, coming to the earth and be fruitful and multiply, right? Be fruitful and multiply would be the instruction, and then the 10 laws or the 10 commandments would be rules, right? So it's just like when they started to make all of these different graven images and all this extra stuff, that's when the rules came into play. The
Right.
instructions was to naturally be who you are, multiply, and be fruitful.
Mm-hmm.
So so when it comes down to it, sometimes people do need rules or laws, but if you're not lost, then you don't need laws, right?
Right. If you're already doing what's right, like this is break all basic 10 Commandments down to of Moses down to two. Loving your brother as yourself, or some would say loving your God as yourself, which we know that God is your brother. God is not your father. You know what I'm saying? Like each and every one of you brothers on here are gods, and we all happen to be brothers, like it or not, from other different mothers, but we are gods. You know what I'm saying? And not each and every one of you gonna say, "Oh, I'm your father." You know what I'm saying? But the Creator is only your father. You know what I'm saying? So, and they told you, you know what I'm saying? You should profess every day of your life that the Creator only is your God, and you should never see Him as you see your fellow man or angel or any other corporal substance or image. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm on the screen. I'm seeing three brothers on the screen right now. They got their camera on them, right? Well, I mean, these brothers here are my brothers. I may have not met two of these brothers on the side of me, or even you, Selfmade. You know what I'm saying? I never met you yet in a person.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? But we've met on here before many times. But y'all, you brothers are gods. Y'all my brother. And y'all would say you my brother. You know what I'm saying? So God is like an ancestor. You know what I'm saying? God is a one-time man on this earth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We all gonna rise in power. So instead of when a loved one passed away, instead of saying, "Oh, rest in peace," now you're not resting in peace. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you die, your soul done hopped up out of your soul and spirit hopped up out of your body. You
Rose
kept
up.
moving
You
around on this
rising.
earth. You know what I'm saying? So you rising. So you know what I'm saying? Learning and rising up in power and knowledge, wisdom and love doesn't stop. It keeps going on, bro. It keeps going on. There are second and third resurrections. The first resurrection is into the lower heavens, and then there's a second and a third. The third is a higher heavens. You know what I'm saying? Which kind of makes me want to bring something else out real quick. You know what I'm saying? To help y'all. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I think I got to. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just speaking. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm speaking is kind of like making sense. But let me just read this real quick. It ain't gonna take nothing but a second. You know what I'm saying? It's out of Speed, a book of discipline, chapter 1. It says, God reveals who He is. This is the word from the organic heaven. Hear the words of your God, old man. I am your brother, risen from mortality to a holy place in heaven. Profit in my wisdom and be admonished by my love. For as I'm your elder brother, so shall it be with you, to rise also in time to come and look back to mortals and call them to the exalted heavens of the Almighty. To Jehovah, all adoration, glory forever. Amen. This is God giving praise to the Creator. All life, motion, power, and things seen and unseen abiding through Him. Neither is there an angel in heaven so high nor sufficiently wise to comprehend Jehovah in His entirety, nor to see Him as you see your fellow man. For He is within all, beyond, and over all, being ever present in all places, doing by virtue of His presence, quickening all the living, adorable above all things. As the sun is the light of day, so is Jehovah to the understanding of all the living, upon which to contemplate is the road of everlasting life, rising in wisdom, love, power, forever. Hear the word, hear your God, oh man, and distinguish then that the two, God and Jehovah, the Creator, are not the same one, nor is your God more than what you shall be in time to come. First mortality, then death, which is the first resurrection. Such are the spirits of the dead, dwelling with mortals upon the earth, where they abide, some for a few years, some for 100, and some for 1,000 or more years. Second angel organization in heaven, and their abandonment of mortals, which is the second resurrection. As the kingdom on earth has a king, and the king is nevertheless immortal, so in like manner is the heavenly place of your God, a kingdom of angels, and the chief over them is God, an angel also. Yet, nevertheless, the kingdom of your God embraces all the heavens of the earth, and it is also so with all corporal rules and their atmospheric heavens, a God and organic heavens belonging to each and all of them. Nor is this all, for there is a third resurrection, in which the angels still rise higher in wisdom, love, and power, and are sent by your God into Etheria, midway between the planets and the stars, the highest of all the heavens, over which there are chiefs, and who are also gods and goddesses of still more comprehensive attributes. Therefore, I am like any other spirit of the dead, a one-time man upon the earth, even as you are in this day, but one with the organic heavens of the earth. That's it, man.
Okay.
I don't know about y'all, man, but that makes sense.
What you think?
Yeah, nah. So when you read that, right? Because again, and I'd like to hear just like what I was trying to explain to Fred earlier, right? Or not explain to him, but explain myself to him about the confirmation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear certain things, when I see certain things, when I read certain things, when I feel certain things, all of these things would be confirming what, the path that I'm on, right?
Right.
Or AKA what I align with or what I know, right?
Right.
So on that type of time, um, I agree with what's being stated. And I know that there's a multitude of different creators, right? And when I say creators,
Yeah.
I'm just talking about authors, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a multitude of different authors that's going to come out, and they're gonna from their perspective put literature out there that may serve somebody else that's on that same frequency, which it seems that you are on. Not to say that I'm not, right?
No. Right.
But I believe that it speaks to you in such a way that it makes sense. And I was kind of saying this earlier, probably more than the King James Bible, right?
Right.
And so
Right.
so again, so for me, it's just like I like to hear it because again, it's just confirmation. I like to hear it from a different tongue, right?
Right.
But for you, when you read that, especially what you just now read, in a nutshell, what did you get from that?
I mean, we're gods. I mean, we're gods in training. God is an angel, and we can confirm that with the King James Bible. You know what I'm saying? We can confirm that. That's what Yahushua was saying to the Pharisees who was trying to kill him in St. John chapter 10. When he says, "What good works do you stone me for?" And they say, "Well, not for good works, but being a blasphemer, which is a liar, and you being a man, making thyself gods, making thyself God." And he said, "Well, shit, is it not written in your law that I have said ye are gods?" You know what I'm saying? And so we go
When
to
you,
Psalms 82, when it's saying, "Well, God standing in the congregation of the mighty, he judgeth among the gods." Back down to verse 4. "For you know not, neither will you understand. You walk on in darkness, for all the foundations of the earth are out of course. For I said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. For ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, and judge the earth, but thou shalt inherit all nations." I was talking to the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? But, to go beyond that, you know what I mean? We are all, no matter your nationality, color, whatever it is, your faith, whatever, we are all going to cross over and be able to one day become a God. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? And now when you get into, we go into Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, and it says God created the heavens and the earth, right? Well, we understand that when they translated and transliterated the Bible, the Old Testament, from Hebrew into English, they never translated nor transliterated the word. They simply took out the Hebrew word Elohim or Elohim, took that out and gave you the Germanic word God, which was singular. But Elohim or Elohim is plural. You know what I'm saying? And you know that by going down to verse 26, and it says, "Well, God said, let us create man after our image and after our likeness." Or Elohim or Elohim said, "Let us make man after our image and after our likeness." So when you go into the Strong's Concordance and find out what Elohim means, this is exactly what it means. This is a transliteration. Rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods, and goddesses. So, and if you understand the word angel in Hebrew is malak, or angels means is melakim, which means what? Messenger. You know what I'm saying? So God is an angel. God is an angel. And we are all angels because we all got messages from one another, even right here on this earth. Each and every last one of us, each and every one of the ones in the people in the chat, they all have some type of message. And they throwing out their message in the chat room.
Yeah, I look at
So,
like
you know,
angels, right?
go ahead. Yeah.
I look at angels as um as being angles, right?
You can look at it in that way too, angles. You know what I'm
And when I
saying? There's
say
different
angles, I
angles.
mean like a angle of light, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
AKA a
Different
perspective,
angles of
right?
light. Right, right.
Right.
So so everybody has their own different, coming from their angles of their type of light. Everybody got some type of light to give. Because we all have a piece of the Creator within us, which is light. You know what I'm saying? So if the Creator is everywhere at once, then what is everywhere at once? The air you breathe. All life is everywhere at once. All motion is everywhere at once, right? So if I'm breathing in, then what am I doing? I'm letting that light in. And everybody out there in this world is breathing some type of light in. So everybody got some type of light to give, whether we agree with it or not, whether we agree with each other or not. But we're not created to agree with each other. We're all created in some type of difference. You know what I'm saying? It's how we can still come together in some type of unity and some type of love. You know what I'm saying? You know, to abide with one another. You know what I'm saying? Shed some type of light on one another. You dig what I'm talking about?
Yep. And for me, that's why they call them light beings. Again,
Yeah,
because we are the light.
yeah. Israelite.
We got the
You know what I'm
angle of
saying?
light.
Israel had
Exactly.
the light. You know what I'm saying? We had the light for the world. We had the light to inherit the other nations by giving them that light of that ever-present Creator that brought our ancestors out of the land of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You know, and Israelites were the faithists, and there were faithists around in every other nation around the world, and every faithists were attacked by people who serve their gods. You know what I'm saying? Because a false god gonna come to you and tell you he's the creator of the heavens and the earth, looking and staring at you. You know what I'm saying? You turn around and you see his backside. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you're not
Hey,
gonna see your ever
even a
present
false
creator,
God got light.
right? He got some type of light, and he give it to you, and you following him for that light.
That's
You
what
know
I
what I'm saying?
said.
Yeah. You know
That
what I
light,
mean?
that light, it's the same. It's the same light as the light
At the end
from
of the
God.
day, there's some bullshit in every religion, but in every religion, there's some light. There's some truth in every religion. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you gonna take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's the fact. I think it's all perception based of how you're reading it and from what perspective you're reading the books from will give
That's
Yep.
you a
right.
different outcome of what it means to you. And I
Right.
never been a religious person because I never came from a religious based background or upbringing, but I do believe in righteousness. So if you're a
God.
man or a person of righteousness, then I rock with you. I resonate with you because that's a frequency and a vibration within itself.
God.
Mm-hmm.
You feel
Right.
me?
The
You feel me?
Uh-huh.
background.
That's it. That's all. That's the laws right there. That's the laws of the
Mm-hmm.
universe right there. So I feel
That's
like if you
right.
resonate on that, then I could call you my brother, or I can call you my sister, and we can build straight up. We can
Right.
build from that.
That's
Right.
But
right.
I'm gonna sign out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Peace, love, and light to
All
everybody,
right,
man. Shout
God.
out to
Oh,
the
for
gods,
sure.
Yeah.
man.
I
Hey
I'ma
catch you
man,
tap
back
peace to
in.
the
later.
I'ma
God,
share
peace
it.
to the earth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, my
Peace.
brother.
I get upside down, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
This is a great build, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, for
Mm-hmm.
surely.
For sure.
I
You
knew
know
it
what
was
I
gonna
mean?
be a great bill when mine's popped up. I said, "Yep."
Hey, and moms ain't never lied either, boy. She was telling nothing but the truth.
Uh-huh.
And
Real.
this is why we build, though. You learn a lot from yourself, from even like speaking up and telling your perspective about different titles of where your life is and stuff. So that's what's up, bro. You can all learn
Yep.
something from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a lifestyle. And I know Goddess Divine said that she was in a 2 hour build prior to this, and I think I've been building since I got up this morning. Like I
Right. It's been one of them types of days.
Man,
yeah, it's really a lifestyle, and it's really not to say that you have to do it, but you know it's going to be done. Like you know what I mean. So you might as well make it a lifestyle because it makes it that much more
right.
easier.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
no, that's a
Yeah,
fact.
man. So I'm finna get up out of here too, y'all. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I've been sitting in this parking lot, man. I'm finna head back to the house. Hey,
yeah,
man, but it was a blessing to
Hey,
build with
appreciate
y'all.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was a great bill, Kings.
Yeah,
But,
peace, brother.
Peace to the God, man. Appreciate you for
yeah,
sliding through
yeah.
always, man.
Hey, man.
We
But we give
definitely
all
needed
praise.
that.
Yeah, we give all praise to the great spirit, the ever-present creator. We don't serve no God or no Lord, but we serve the ever-present. And we do that by doing good works done towards each other, and that's what it is. Hey, man, I love y'all. Peace, love, light, man.
Hey,
Peace
Mike,
to
real
Love,
God.
quick.
Peace to earth, okay?
love.
Hey, real quick, Mike. Hey, because I know that the Passover is coming up, right?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I believe Fred is too, but Selfmade, the bro Hills that you see with Selfmade in the back,
Yeah.
and they're all vegan, right?
Yeah.
Me too.
So I definitely, if you can, for the brothers that's in the Hebrew camp that may not understand why you choose not to partake in the eating of the meat, we definitely finna rock with you on that. Like, you know what I mean? So if you want to bring them on to get a different perspective, we can definitely
Okay.
have that conversation.
Oh, that would be a
Okay.
good deal.
Right. Facts.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I love my Israelite brothers. I love the camp I'm a part of. Them are some great brothers. I love them. You know what I'm saying? My brothers out in New York, you know, Queens, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. I love them brothers, man. They some great brothers, man. I'm not going out to Passover this year because financially I don't got, uh, you know, plane tickets to out to Connecticut. I don't got, that round trip plane tickets. I don't got, you know what I'm saying? I don't got hotel rooms to stay for 3-4 nights and plus rental car, you know what I'm saying? So I'm
Right.
skipping that this year, you know what I'm saying, with them. But keeping the Passover, you know what I'm saying? There were many sects of Israelites. You know what I'm saying? There was the apostate Israelites who live by written laws, you know what I'm saying? What you have in your Torah, you know what I'm saying?
For
And
sure.
I just kind of read to you that there are false things that are written in here because what does it mean? It says, when it said Jeremiah 8:8, how do you say we are wise and the law of the Lord bewitch you? For lo, surely the lion pens of the scribes have made it for falsehood. Now, this is from an earlier version before the King James Version that I read that just right now at him. Because in your King James, it says, well, how do you say we are wise and the law of the Lord is with you? For lo, surely in vain made he it. The pen of the scribes was in vain. What does vain mean? False. You see what I'm saying? So I'm reading out of an earlier version called the Peshitta, translated, originally written in the Hebrew Aramaic, right? So Jeremiah 7:21 says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, add your burnt offerings unto your sacrifices and eat meat, which I did not command your fathers to eat. Well, here's what it says in KJV version. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, put your burnt offerings unto your sacrifices and eat flesh. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor did I command them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices. But this thing I commanded them, saying, obey my voice, and I will be your God, and you shall be my people, walk in all the ways that I have commanded thee. Right? So basically, when you go into the books of laws and it's telling you in all the books of Leviticus 1 and so on, you know what I'm saying, that, you had to have burnt offerings unto the Lord. And burnt offerings consisted of cutting off the head, the legs, and dismantling, separating the guts and the blood and all that other stuff, making a burnt offering a sweet savior to your Lord, right? But the Creator doesn't require none of that. He just
Yeah,
requires
see,
to
I
sacrifice
got you.
yourself. You see what I'm
I
saying?
got you. And that's why I was making a distinction earlier, talking about instructions, right, versus law. Some people may feel like they need to do certain things in order to get to a certain place versus the people that are already there.
Right, right. So
So,
laws are written within your inner temple. So you already
exactly.
know how to do what's right. You already know thou shalt not have no other God, Lord or Savior, but the I am. Who's the I am? That great spirit within inside you.
Right. Yeah. So
Okay.
again, so I just want to let you know that
Most don't
if they
realize that there were
that if
two
they
types
did,
of Passovers. It was a Passover where they killed the lamb and ate the meat. You know what I'm saying? And then there was a Passover that Yahushua, Jesus, and his family kept, and they kept Passover loop with their brothers from the rest of the world, the other Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Because there were Israelites that were Nazarenes and Essenes that did not shed no blood, that did not eat no meat, did not abet in war nor engage in war, and did good works done towards each other. So they kept the Passover without eating any dead animal flesh. And you get that out of Book of Joshua, I believe it's chapter 5, verse 10, 11, and 12. But you really get a better understanding of out of it when you read it out of the Septuagint. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
no, I
But
got
you
you.
get it. But you really get it when it tells you
If we
in the
understand that,
Gospel of Nazareth.
no, I
I
got you.
apologize.
If we understand that Jesus was quoted to be the sacrificial lamb, and that he's saying to eat my flesh, right? So we understand what that looks like, not on a literal level, but on a metaphysical level, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so then if we also understand that Jesus was born in a manger, and that's where animals eat, and us as humans would be considered those animals, right? So we're still partaking in this feasting of Christ, right?
Okay.
But we're talking about Christ, we're talking about soul food, we're not talking about a literal lamb.
Right,
So
right, right, right.
so when they
So
come on, if you're able to bring them on, and we can have this either like this, or we can have a private conversation with them. But it's just because I'm not trying to knock nobody off their square, but I'm just trying
right,
to,
right.
if you're practicing not eating meat, then we have a substantial reason for that, both in the physical and going to the literature that's saying, like, hey, eat this, but it's not talking about that, like, you know what I mean? So
Right, right. So
we
if you
got you
really
on
want to
that.
get
You
an
good.
understanding of the eating of flesh and the drinking of the blood, as in not literal, where does that even come from? Number one, you know what I'm saying? But if you look at it in the aspect, eating the flesh, right? So you come from the earth, and the earth is soil, right? The melanated, you know what I'm saying, come from the soil, right? So the flesh would, so eating the flesh would be what comes from the soil. What comes from the soil? The fruits and your herbs, your veggies. You know what I'm saying? So you eating the flesh when you eating that, right? So when you drinking the blood, you drinking when you drinking the waters of the earth. You see what I'm saying? So it goes in that kind of aspect, but it's a deeper understanding and to really find out where that whole aspect of the eating of flesh and the drinking of blood, meaning to act like it was man's flesh, whatever. Those things come from other places. You know what I'm saying? And they come from before Jesus was ever born into this world from Mary and was the seed of Joseph, because Joseph is the father. There's no virgin birth. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's
But
a
now
deeper aspect of all that, man.
for sure, I just want to plant that seed, because you are not me, but just like I said, Selfmade, Hills, and Pure Frequency, who just now got off, they're all vegans.
And at the end of the day, that's why they can hear the Creator speak to them.
Hell
So
yeah.
what you saying, Mike? I just always listen to
Hell
you.
Hey,
yeah.
It
hey,
ain't.
I'm not saying nothing particular. I'm just saying, brother, like,
It's
you know what I'm saying?
easier.
Look, it
It's an
ain't like
easier
you
way,
ain't heard them
easier
either,
pathway.
because I don't know what you got going on with your creator. What you got going, look, every fault in your life is between you and your creator. You know what I'm saying? If the creator still feeds you life and you can still hear him, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Hey, but I'm just telling you, you're an electrical being, and you need to replenish your body with electrical food that come from the earth, because you come from the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
You're
I'm
not
trolling.
created.
I understand.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. I'm not saying nothing to you, man. What you got going on in your life is between you and the creator, not between me and you. You do what you do, huh? Hey, I love you one way or the other.
It's all love. I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah,
All
Yes,
right,
bro.
sir,
kid.
man. Appreciate you for sure.
For sure. Peace, brother.
Yeah, man. All right, Shalom. Peace to the guys. Peace to the earth, man. I love y'all. Love
Peace
y'all.
to God,
Two from
man.
the light, man.
You
All
got it.
right.
Yeah.
was
Bro,
good.
always come in, man, with that good type of energy, man, the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Really be, dropping that shit for reals.
For sure. I'll be
Off the
trying to,
mic,
and I
man.
kind of put out that disclaimer earlier. Mike reads a lot of different shit at a lot of different times.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think he gets a lot of joy from just sharing it with people for real.
For real.
But I kind of believe whatever he was saying, like with that Owaspy, because I'm talking about every time he read out of that, like you heard the spirits in the background. They were telling you something with
It started just raising up too. It was just going up higher and higher and shit.
Facts. I was like, what is that? Like, I don't know if he got if he got it queued up and shit. I don't know what that was.
That nigga sitting there cranking in and shit as he talking.
He had his little tools in the background. A high frequency sound.
Facts.
Real life church for real.
Every time I speak next show, I'm gonna have like some angel noise in the background. Like,
hey, for real, I was like
432 hertz and shit in the background.
It was like every time he was talking louder, it got like start circling deep.
Circling, right?
I was just tuning in on the sound though. I ain't gonna lie.
But yeah, this was definitely a good build, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hills, I gotta tip my hats to you for pulling up. I'm like, yeah, bro done pulled up and it's lit and he over here busting his gun. I'm like, hell yeah.
Nah, for real. I was telling myself, I was like, I need to pop up one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Pull through.
Because again, it brings kind of clarity to what we do naturally, right? Because I be telling people that's in the group chat about you. I don't know if Fred is in there, but I'm like, yeah, Selfmade got a whole squad of niggas that was building like before we was building type shit, like, you know what I mean? And so on that type of time, it's just like, yeah, but and I always love to see when other people get to see the other people, like, you know what I mean?
Hey, for sure. I haven't been live in a minute. Like a live camera, I'm like, damn, this is different though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I say my little message here and there. Whoop, I'm up.
Right? So to get you on the show, you know what I'm saying, where you can really spit your shit.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And really build just, you know what I mean, with everybody.
Shit, I might pop up again though. Y'all be doing it on Wednesdays, huh?
Well, it's just kind of random and shit. Yeah, just depending upon, schedules and aligning schedules and stuff,
Yeah, facts.
That was a good topic too. That shit just spiraled into another thing to another thing.
Right. Okay, the flow for real, the flow. Definitely. Yeah, to the chat.
Hey,
y'all was going crazy in there, dropping gems.
Reading it too.
Dropping gems.
Yeah, God, divine.
Treek had me weak in there.
I like one comment. She said something about when I was explaining the pain. She said pain can also teach you like something. I forgot what she said, but it was good. It was a good quote.
Yeah, man, y'all in there showing out, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all for sure.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And to the new people, new watchers.
Yeah.
Definitely subscribe, you know what I mean, to catch all the lives when we go live.
Hell yeah.
Hit us with a like button, for the algorithm, how YouTube goes.
Sub up, click that sub button, man.
Yeah, that's it's the like the fucking the initiation into the family and shit.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, it's gonna become a lifestyle to where it's just like, hey, man.
Hey, for real.
Okay, you don't find your people by accident.
Yeah. He was brought here for a specific reason.
Right, for real though.
Straight up.
For real.
But yeah, man.
With that being stated, man, we can conclude because I got to be up at like 4:00 in the morning. It's going to be 11 where I'm at right now.
Oh shit! Yeah. Different time zone, man.
You driving too?
She wasn't lying about this nigga flying.
Man, hey, sometimes you got to get in that air.
For real.
The air is everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, how you be working out when you be trucking?
Oh man, I got a cold system. You know what the inside of the cab look like?
Yeah, it's kind of big, huh?
Yeah, so that in between my bed and the front where the cup holders and shit is at. Oh, that's free space right there.
Man, getting it in.
Hell yeah. So I try to keep things balanced.
Hell yeah, bro.
Got to, for real.
You on that road, you gotta get that blood pumping.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it's about, bro.
Yeah.
Stuff becomes a lifestyle, baby.
It do, for real. It really do.
But yeah, hey, real quick, hey, Self, can you because I don't know if I could do it. I'm not even going to attempt to do nothing else. I got in this motherfucker. I'm like, I ain't touching shit else.
I already know it's already up.
Okay, I appreciate you. Yeah, so for the new people, new subscribers, new, just like I said, the introduction to the family. I'm also an author for children's books and soon to be for just books in general. And those are my 5 books right there. You can find them everywhere that you find books online, or you could directly get them from me as far as like signed copies and shit. And that's it right there. I just wanted to share that with you.
Really got a 5-piece out there.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Shit, Woon.
Appreciate you.
My son still be reading all of them.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. Good books, man. Definitely cop that.
And how much are they, Woon?
If I don't like you, then them motherfuckers like $30 a piece. Like, nah, to keep it a stack. Like, so ultimately, like sometimes I'll be running deals, and sometimes I just keep them standard price. But I'm always going to beat whatever price that I got them on online. Like, you know what I mean? So if you get one, then it might be like a 15 or a dub piece, depending on which one you get. But if you get all of them at one time, then I'm gonna for sure show you like a player price and shit. You feel me?
Okay, for sure. Hell yeah. I'm about to get some for my nephew.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, hey man, dope show. Dope, man. Appreciate everybody for sliding through. Everybody in the comments.
Hell yeah.
We'll be back with another one. Send us your topics for any upcoming shows, man. We try to, bring some other stuff in here.
She said don't touch shit in the spaceship.
Yeah.
I was just Yo, Wallace.
Peace to the goddess.
Peace. Yeah, man. That's another one, man. You got anything else?
To the goddess.
Shit. No, that's it. I just want to shout out everybody that came onto the panel, moms included. That was a real special event.
Yeah, shout out to moms.
That was smooth.
Shout out to everybody that tapped in from Facebook. I was able to see them for a little minute, and then I wasn't. So, but I know that people are getting more comfortable pulling up. So I know the chat is cool. The chat is where it's at. It's kind of like safe, but I want to see faces. I want people to to actually feel your presence, and just go ahead and join the panel. You know what I mean?
Right. Hell yeah, I second that for sure.
Nah, this shit was fun though.
Yeah. So yeah, man. With that being said, peace and love to all the gods and goddesses. And then until next time.
Out.
Going for your mind.